Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, one and all, to a special culturism show. Today it is with our special guest. I know who you're coming to watch. Apa khabar semua? You'll have me first, ladies and gentlemen. Apa khabar? Good evening. My name is Aziph Mustapha. You are tuned into Culturism with Aziph Mustapha. That's me. I typically bring in guests from all over the world talking about corporate culture or culture in general, or as I say, love, life, and everything in between, because corporate culture really is a function of everything that we do and everything and whoever that we are as a person. So tonight we have, I'm so sure you're excited about this. We are so excited to have Puan Sri Tiara Jacquelina with us to answer all of your questions. Make sure your questions are ready. Put it in the chat. We're happy to get your views and your questions. And we have so many people here with us. We have people who are excited. Serena, we have Nabila, who's screaming with joy. We have Zaid from JB, y'all. JP represent. Serena is from Kajang. Zaid is a writer. Sarika is tuning in from India. Namaste, India. Sarika, we may be speaking a little bit in our national language, Malay, but generally in English. We have Shikin here from Jalan Ipoh, bukannya Ipoh, Jalan Ipoh. We got my buddy Pert. Apa khabar? You're still wearing your turban, matching my janggut. So welcome from Kuala Lumpur, he says. We have so many people. We have KZ here from Jelas. Where is Jelas, KZ? We have Bob from KL. Many people from all over here. We have Anne here from, we know she's from KL somewhere. Yep, we are all gathered here, but I'm keeping you in suspense. We have Serena, who is my sister Anita's friend. Hello! Tell her you're tuning in and tell her why she's not. Where is she? She's not on LinkedIn, is she? So we got Azham from Wangsa Maju. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I give you Tan Sri Michael Teo. Sorry, this is Michael, my buddy. This is
God
not
bless,
Tan Sri
God bless.
Tiarana. You are just what? How are you, man? Nice to
I
see
am
you.
doing good. Thank you for honoring me with the title.
Thanks for joining me. Oh, sorry, I kind of kicked you out of the studio there.
No, all good. That's what good friends do. That's what good friends do.
So together with
everybody.
Mike, wait, I need to get rid of this comment. We also have, and you know her, Ayu Shahira. How are you, Ayu? Apa khabar?
Mute.
There you
Hi.
Apa khabar?
Ayu, saya
And today,
peminat setia kamu.
Oh, saya pun peminat setia kamu.
Wah.
it's a mutual fan club here. We got
Yes,
going on.
mutual fan club.
Yeah, but you know, this is part of our Malaysian Mafia of Growth Academy. But we do have a new member, adik bungsu kita, Husna. Apa khabar, Husna?
Hi, everyone.
So Husna just joined very recently and has just started posting. So ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm keeping you in suspense, but we will be going to Puan Sri Tiara in just a minute. But before this, you will have to bear with us. My squad here will start the first segment with a borak-borak and bincang-bincang tentang LinkedIn sedikit, and maybe also about Puan Sri herself. So Mike, let's start with you. What do you remember most, or what do you know most about Puan Sri Tiara Jacquelina?
Putri Gunung Ledang.
Yes.
It was
Who
one
can
of those
forget
shows where I remember I was back in high school. All right, my goodness.
Oh man, you are a
Oh
millennial.
God! Oh my goodness! I remember because that time I sneaked out of my house. I
My
walked
goodness.
to the nearby cinema, the nearby shopping complex, with a group of friends of mine. And at that time, I remember my friends were like telling me, Michael, you know, you have some savings, right? And I'm like, yeah, I saved up like 3 ringgit every day from pocket money from school. Why? You should go and watch Putri Gunung Ledang. It's awesome. And I'm like, what, another P. Ramlee show? No, it's really awesome. It's like Hollywood great Malaysian movie. So I remember sneaking out from my house. It was a Saturday, or no one was home anyway. Why did I have to sneak out? Anyways, so I walked 20 minutes to the shopping mall with my friends. You know, those were the days where you lepak, and I still remember, you know, you still play snakes and ladders on your phone. Remember those times, and you have your phone where there is no when you click on the light, there's like only yellow light that comes out. It's crazy, right? So the Nokia at that time. So I remember fondly Putri Gunung Ledang from there, and I remember after that I said very impressive. I was actually surprised. You know, I didn't know who this Puan Sri Tiara Jacquelina, who she was that time. I only know what M Saleh, right? The person playing, is it?
M. Nasir.
M. Nasir. M. Nasir. Good. That's why we have a community here. We support each other, including correcting names of actors for me. So, yeah, M. Nasir. So, M. Nasir was around, but Puan Sri Tiara, that time I was like, oh, who is this lady, you know? But the quality was great, you know, absolutely loved it. So, that was how I remembered Puan Sri Tiara Jacquelina at that time.
Nice. What about you, Ayu? What do you know about Puan Tiara Jacquelina?
Of course, same like Michael Teo, and also I really want to know how to get Puan Sri as well. No, like kidding. Give some tips.
Ambition, aspiration. Bagus.
It's really good. Ayu, it's really good.
Yes. I'm still single, so why not?
No, you should ask how to become a Tan Sri then.
Yes, I should ask that.
So, so Husna, our latest addition to Growth Academy Malaysia. So how are you? Maybe you should introduce yourself a little bit to our audience.
Oh, hi everyone. My name is Husna. I'm still young, 29. I'm working in EPF right now, and I'm really glad that I'm able to join this amazing team, Growth Academy, led by Aziph. It's really fun. So far, the journey is really fun. You should join us too.
Thank you so much for that plug. So we are, constantly talking to each other on WhatsApp and commenting on each other's posts. So it's like, I'm always with you guys. So besides Putri Gunung Ledang, of course, Puan Sri has been in many, many different movies. She does have a couple of albums to her name. She did start off as a singer, and she does have a lot of different talents. So tonight we'll be talking a little bit about her business ventures. She calls herself a serial entrepreneur. Michael would know a lot about that because so is he. And I've done the entrepreneurship route as well. Ayu, even though she's working full time, is also in her blood an entrepreneur. I'm not quite sure about Husna. Do you have any businesses or side hustles we need to know about?
Yes, I did a few small businesses from university time. So yeah.
That's right. So we're all here, kind of entrepreneurs in our own right. But she has taken it, of course, to a much bigger level, different level. And we will be talking a lot about that as well with her. So, of course, I have a personal ties as well with Putri Gunung Ledang. My late brother, Aziph Mustapha, was one of the actors in that movie. He was the guy on the horse, Mike. Pangeran Demak. So he was that guy.
I didn't know he was your brother, bro.
Oh yeah.
Wow, okay. I'm shocked. I know people were like, hey, I see you appearing with Aziph Mustapha. I say, yeah. And people always say, you know who his brother is, right? And I'm like, what? I don't. I know Aziph. And they were like, oh, I thought you know him through his brother. No. Why? And then that person didn't continue. He's like, his brother is very famous, So right, okay. Wow, that's something new. Okay, that kind of shook my world a bit. Never mind.
So he was retired from the business for a long while before that. And he told me he never act in any more movies. I mean, he's done with that life. So he went on to really study the religion. He moved to Syria to study and contemplate, and he came back and he became, I guess, what you call a preacher, a penceramah. So you go from mosque to masjid to surau, and give all of these talks to companies as well. So he would never act until Puan Sri, and she told us this story. In her comment in LinkedIn, that she just basically didn't give up. She was just persistent. She would bother him every day. And when are you going to come on board on this movie? Until she got her dream cast, she said. So, I mean, in that sense, she's such a visionary. She already had her A-list, the dream cast for who would play what role in Puteri Gunung Ledang, and she was saying, I think, majority of them, 90% of everyone she envisioned to play these roles, she already got it. So, I guess that's the power of, as well as visioning and seeing, what you want to happen and make it happen. So that's a great story about that as well. Somebody is saying they remember her during Arwah Hani Mohsin's time. Yeah, it was her first husband, Arwah Hani Mohsin. I do have a story about that as well. I actually went to school with him in ITM. I guess it's called UITM now. At that time, it was just ITM. And we were there. We were contemporaries in different faculties, but we would meet because we were both very involved in the arts. I had a band. I was singing in a band. He was always acting in university. So we, we're always together at that time, hanging out. So I just told her about that as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? I am going to take my buddies here off the screen for just a little bit, and we are going to watch a short video to introduce Puan Sri Tiara Jacquelina. So thank you so much, guys. I will bring you on a little bit later. Don't go anywhere. Stay here, Michael. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Husna. Thank you, Ayu. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be with Tiara Jacquelina in just a little bit. But for now, after that short interview, I will show you a little video that will give you a good introduction of Puan Sri Tiara Jacquelina. I hope you enjoy it.
I love telling stories inspired by our Asian folklore, especially when culture, arts, and cutting-edge technology merge.
Asking for a little bit of patience. Let me just get back. Yeah, there you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really sorry about that. There is a slight issue with bandwidth right now, but managed to watch the entire video. I do apologize, but I think I can make it up to you by introducing someone really special that you are all here to meet, the one and only Puan Sri Tiara Jacquelina. How are ya?
Hey!
Thanks so much.
Hello, Aziph.
So nice
Thanks
to have
for
you on our
having
show.
me.
It is a great honor to have you on our show, on this show, Culturism. This is actually the 12th edition of the show. 12 weeks in a row, I've been inviting people from all over the world. And now, lucky us, it is you. How are you today?
I'm feeling awesome.
You're looking fantastic.
Thank you.
We kind of match. What?
Yeah, we do.
Yes, you have a red beard just like me. We call you red beard, so don't wear that too much. So anyway, we had just now Michael Teo, Husna Khairuddin, Ayu Shahira. They are my squad here on LinkedIn Malaysia, and they were kind enough to do this introduction stuff. One of the questions that Husna asked, and I know you were telling me how to address you. But before we go into that, for my guests, especially we do have a few guests from the States and from outside of Malaysia, I have been addressing you as Puan Sri Tiara Jacquelina on this one, and your name is Tiara, of course, Tiara, and people may be confused, right? But it is, let me explain, it is to the people who don't know, is an honorific that was given by our Duli Yang Maha Mulia Yang di-Pertuan Agong, His Excellence, His Highness, His Royal Highness, the King of Malaysia. And because I respect that and I respect the monarchy, I do address her as Puan Sri, unless she asks me otherwise. So,
I insist otherwise because I've been Tiara my whole life, you know.
Thank you for that.
Nothing's
Thanks for
changed.
clarifying that. So Tiara, thank you again for joining us. And many know you through your different media appearances, the different shows you've been on, and the different causes you are championing. But because you're on my show and I have complete control, you are not one director tonight. You're not, you don't call the shots. I do. What I do with all of my guests is ask them 10 rapid fire questions that you have no idea about because you've never seen them before. And what is, if I can just find it, it was just a second ago.
Starting to get scary.
Yeah, no, it's just simple questions that allow the audience to know a different side of you, perhaps something that they haven't known before about you. So it's simple questions. We just need you to answer them quickly. How would you describe yourself in just 3 words?
Positive, energetic. Number 3, a control freak.
You are. Ooh, now we know. Okay, that's why she's the director.
I am a perfectionist, actually. Yes.
Okay. Yes, she is a perfectionist.
Yes.
So, you're in so many different things, but if you were not in the arts, right? If you were never an actor, if you were never a singer, what would be your main profession?
It's really weird. I've always wanted to. Well, no. I always wanted to be in business. That's all I ever wanted to be since I was a kid. And I kind of just became an actor by mistake. No, by accident. Sorry, what am I saying? Sorry. But I think I might have been. I don't know. I'm sorry. A painter. I do love to paint in my spare time when I do. What's that word again? Spare time? Sorry.
I do. Spare time.
I've been known to paint before, even in the last MCO. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Food. Favorite topic of Malaysians.
Okay.
What is your absolute favorite dish to make?
To make. To make. Okay. I can make one dish. Shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie. Yeah. All right.
Specialize in it during the first MCO.
All right. We'll flip that to favorite dish to eat.
Favorite dish to eat. I do love laksa Sarawak very much, as well as nasi ulam. Yes. So
Ayu is very smiling there backstage. She is from Sarawak, and maybe she can make us some. We did celebrate International Women's Day yesterday, and we saw your wonderful post on Instagram, here on LinkedIn as well. And one of the things that we were talking about is, and this is thanks to my boss, Oli Azmi of Aziata. She's the Chief People Officer.
Hello,
And
Oli.
dia dah berapa kali tegur I for using "hey guys," because we feel that "hey guys" is gender neutral, but it's not, because it started off as addressing just the men, and it could be excluding the women in the group. So instead of saying "hey guys," what would you suggest?
Hey, people.
Yeah, it's nice. Right?
Hey, hey everyone.
That's right. So just
Hey,
to let
lady.
people know.
Men are allowed to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey everyone. So hey everyone, we have quite a large crowd tonight, Tiara. We have people from all over. There's Will Nelson, a buddy of mine from the States, from Wisconsin. And we have a lady, from India. So there's many different people tuned in tonight. And typically we obviously have, because LinkedIn is such a global platform, and we have people from all over.
Need to be more active.
So what was
They're commenting on the chat, which is really nice. Thank you so much.
Yes, they're very nice people on the chat here. We have, this is my buddy Ashley Tan, saying very gorgeous. Thank you, Ashley, for dropping in. What was your first ever media appearance? Was it on a TVC, or what was it?
It was in an Indonesian Malaysian joint venture movie, really. It was called Irisan Hati, and I was thrown into the deep end, really, acting opposite Christine Hakim in my very first film. Yes, so that was like in 1990 or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are, it seems, and I don't know you personally that well, but you have ventured into so many different things. I would imagine you're an adventurous person. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how adventurous would you say you are?
Okay, I am adventurous in business. In real life, I used to be very adventurous. I used to do scary things like bungee jump, and I've skydived. That kind of thing. But I've gone on the scariest rides of roller coasters at oh my God, what's it? Six Flags.
Six Flags. Oh my goodness.
I used to do that all in my youth, but I'm not a very. I'm not into that anymore nowadays. I can't even watch a scary movie or a
Really?
war movie or anything. Slightly bloody. Yeah. In business, I'm absolutely very, very adventurous and very open. Very.
Fierce. Wonderful. Okay, one of my last questions to you is, how many cats are too many cats?
I have 12.
Well,
yes, and I just borrowed someone else's cat who I'm so in love with. So it's 13 right now in my house.
wow.
14 would be too much.
So you're at the perfect level right now.
Yes.
Have you always been a cat mama?
I've always been an animal person. So I had horses. We had cats for many, many years. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And
Hate people.
My last question to you, and this is the same question I asked to all my guests.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the kindest person that you have ever met? And tell us a story about him or her.
Kindest. Oh my God, I know so many people who've been very kind around me. Well, it's really very strange. I should use this as an example. Okay, yeah, random, but and I don't even have it on me right now. But there was one day I was trying to get on a flight from an AirAsia flight to Singapore, and I needed to get in for a meeting, and it was really last minute, and they said they couldn't seat me, but there was this guy in front of me. He was a priest, and he was on his way to Singapore, and he actually told the guys at the counter, "I'll give up my seat for her." And I was like, "Wow, really?" And I was like, "That's really nice of you. I really needed this flight, otherwise I wouldn't, bump you off." And he was like, "No, that's really nice. I understand, So I took his seat, but as fate would have it, they managed to get him a seat, and next thing I knew, he was sitting next to me, in that special row. Was it 13 or 14, whatever?
Those extra seats that they have.
Yeah, and we got chatting, and he was so nice to me. He gave me he says, "I have a good luck bracelet that I wear with me all the time, and I'm going to give it to you." I was like, "That brings you good luck. Why would you do that?" And he just says, I see that it will bring you a lot of luck too. I was like, "Oh." And I wear that every day. Well, today is the only day you don't see me wearing it, because I've just finished filming and I had to remove everything. But every day you see it on all my photos on Instagram.
Wow.
I never removed my bracelets and my this
That
one.
is amazing. That's just an amazing story.
Yeah,
there's so many amazing stories about kind people. It's just that, we need to surface them more, and we need to talk about them and make them as an example, because people are inherently kind, I think, but somehow there's a lot of meanness in the world today, isn't there?
People used to say orang Melayu sopan santun, berbudi bahasa, and all that. I keep thinking, like, after Hang Tuah and Sultan Mahmud's days and all, where did that,
what happened? What happened?
Yeah, what has happened to us today? Now, when we talk together, it's like aku, kau, apa, sudah, wow. It's like, gosh, where did this gangster culture come from? We've lost all that, That's why I guess maybe it's a subconscious thing of mine. I want to bring that back through the work I do and show people how to be. So we used to be such an elegant race. When people talked about the Malay race, it was like, wow, or the Malaysian race. Maybe we should start learning civics again, civic studies in school.
Yes.
Maybe we're a different breed of people because of that.
Maybe we should. I mean, there's definitely a need for more kindness everywhere, and it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Just be kind to people, and
it's a choice. It really is. You could scream at someone when you're upset, or you could just say, like, "Okay, I understand. Would you promise not to do that again, please?"
Take a breath. Everybody can do that. So thank you for playing 10 questions with us. We have so much more insights into who Tiara Jacquelina is now after that little segment. So thank you.
I'm not just Putri Gunung Ledang.
Exactly. Like, there's so much more to her than that. We will talk about that soon, though. But before we get into that, could you perhaps tell our audience what is really keeping you busy nowadays in terms of business, in terms of your family life, and what's keeping you excited? What's keeping you busy?
Well, I am more busy than I've ever been. I think all my life. During this pandemic, suddenly I'm like busier than I've ever been before, and we are in the midst of. We're forced to pivot, obviously, our business, and forced to think out of the box and think beyond what we used to do before. So on a day-to-day basis, Tiarasa Escapes, our glamping resort in Janda Baik, runs, and that's become our lifeline right now. Thankfully, for all these kind people who book and stay with us. Infinity Academy used to be the busiest thing every day when you're at Infinity, that children, teenagers, adults after work, it's just like buzzing the whole time. But right now it's like completely quiet. But during last year's pandemic, during the start of the pandemic last year, we decided to take all our classes online. which would never have been heard of before. Performing arts, how do you teach performing arts online? You know, it's not the same thing. But, you know, when the world changes, you have to change along with it. And we just said that if you're going to wait till the pandemic's over for us to start classes, then we're going to be out of business. And so within 3 weeks, Joanna, Bessie, and her team, they just got everything going. Like, you know, we set up a website. And now we're teaching children and adults online almost every day of the week. Yeah, that's what's going on now, and then working on things for the future. Coming soon.
Wonderful. And I mean, so many people have been affected negatively by COVID and the pandemic and the MCOs and all of these lockdowns. Obviously, in hospitality is one of the hardest hit industries, them all. So how did you cope? How did your company manage that period?
I don't want to jinx anything, but Alhamdulillah, we've been very okay because I think people are dying to go somewhere the moment, you know, that they can't travel and they just want to go somewhere, and Tiara escapes. Jandabai is just 40 minutes away from the city center, and they're in a completely new world. It feels like you're not in Malaysia when you're there with the cool air, and the air is clean, and suddenly they're like, our kids can run around free. It's 7 acres for them to not bump into, you know, other people. And so thankfully that's been a blessing for us, the one blessing during this pandemic. Other than that, it's not.
But there was a period where people couldn't go, right? When there was full MCO,
yes, like in the last MCO. Even now, right now, because it's borders, state borders, until they open up very soon. Someone sent me a text. I didn't have time to open. So very soon we hope we'll be able to open again. But whilst we were closed, we didn't waste any time. What we did was we did a whole total makeover of the ID of the resort. So I'm that sort who cannot sit still and just paint my nails or what. So I said, okay, come on, Fahad, we're gonna be let's go and take all the rooms apart and let's look at how we can change everything. We did all our repairs. We cleaned everything from the tops of the tents to everything. We redid the landscape, built a farm on site. Now we even have an aviary.
Wow.
Nobody rested, we just just use that downtime. I'm that kind of girl.
I'm always interested in how things start, the inception. How did you get into that? How did you get into glamping and getting people to stay and host people in your own resort?
Well, whenever I travel, I try and think of all the most unique places to live in, to stay in. So I'm not the kind who would stay in a fancy 5-star hotel. I'd rather stay in a boutique hotel or an unusual place. So one top on my list was Richard Branson's Kasbah Tamadot in Morocco, and I've been wanting to go there for years to stay in a tent, in a Berber tent. And in 2017 or something like that, we visited Kasbah Tamadot and fell in love with the tent. I was like, oh my goodness, why hasn't anyone thought of anything like this in Malaysia before? And I told my husband, I said, we need to start something like this. It's so beautiful, the idea of living in a tent with no walls. You hear nature outside, and it's just so different, it's not a hotel. And I said that in Malaysia, we have to be the first to start this, because I would love for other Malaysians to have this experience. It's just beautiful. And so we worked on it from there. And we've never been in hospitality, but that was the start. Yeah.
Excellent. When was this? When did you open?
2018. Yeah, this will be our 3rd year.
Cool. Somebody's just shouting out to you that they miss your other half. And warga Bumi Penyalang. This is Jack.
Thank you. He's well. He's watching a movie I wouldn't watch normally, so he's
So
watching a
he's
war
taking the
movie.
opportunity
Yes.
to watch what he wants for once.
Yes.
We do have Zoo Angelica. She's part of our squad, but she couldn't make it tonight. She had other appointments, but
Okay.
she would love to work with you. Love your work. And so
thank you,
anggun, she
Angelica.
said. She was a past recently Mrs. Singapore.
Oh,
So Zoo Angelica. She lives in KL now.
nice. Okay.
Okay, there's a quick question for you while this is still here. Afzan is asking, we can do live shows now, she said. Yay! So when's PGLM coming?
Oh, Afzan, I know you, Babanology, from my Instagram. Well, you know what? I know that something's been announced, but I was so busy preparing for this tonight, I didn't have the time to look at it. And as if this breaks my heart so much. We announced PGL in December 2019, and when I said there'll be a new cast, we haven't announced who, but tickets are going to be open for sale. Everyone was like, can we buy tickets now? We're like, oh, we haven't announced who. We decided, okay, you want to buy tickets? Go ahead. The show's in the show is going to be,
Supposed to be in.
Yeah, it was supposed to be in 2020. So have I got my years mixed up? Sorry. Yeah, something like. Anyway, we sold tickets. Yeah, correct. December 2019. So it was going to be in July 2020. So people had bought tickets 8 months before a show and before even knowing who
the cast is.
Yeah, and we were so excited. 7,000 tickets we sold, you know. That's so much love for Putri Gunung Ledang. And we had started rehearsing and preparing, building sets. We had the production team together. And then the pandemic hit.
Oh, wow.
And we thought, okay, maybe sekejap je kot. You know, like we rest for 2 weeks and then we'll go back in and put the show back on. And it never stopped. So we had to announce that we have to cancel the show for last year and put it on this year. But if we were to have put on the show in July this year, we would have had to start rehearsing in January. And we're here, you know, it's March. There's no way you can put together a show in 1.5 months, 2 months.
Afzan bought her tickets already. She said it was supposed to be in July. Nangis di bujuk katil katanya.
Well, we lagi lah nangis because everyone in Infinity is doing nothing until we can. Well, not nothing, but you know that the production team, we can't do any shows. You know, until
people want it. People demand it. And they're saying,
Inshallah. Thank you. Inshallah, next year, about same time next year or earlier, maybe April, May next year.
Nice. That would be awesome. I think a lot of people are waiting for that. But before I do want to talk about PGL. But before that, I do want to introduce you to some of my friends. We do have with us.
Hey, Melissa.
Ayu Shaira.
Hi.
Kabayu. We also have Husna Khairuddin, the latest addition to my squad. Husna. And of course, I need my bros here, Michael Teo. So how are you, gang?
Hi, Tiara.
Hey, hi, Michael. And hi, Ayu.
Hi. Hi, Tiara.
So everybody's excited to ask you who's going to start. I think I'll start with Husna.
Yes. Thank you so much. Hi, Tiara. So
Hi.
I know you don't want us to talk much about Putri Gunung Ledang, but I want you to know I really appreciate your acting. Like, your acting was so good. I mean, how long do you take to get into character, Gusti Putri?
I prepared for about a year, to be very honest, because I mean, to be honest, I didn't know very much about the Malay culture. I mean, not our traditional like court culture, and Javanese culture is even more alien to me. So to play a Javanese character, it was like I didn't even know where to start. How does a 15th century Javanese princess act? So I took a long time to prepare. I went to Java. I went to speak to the people of the Solo Palace. I underwent training, like a princess training, which was not fun. Everyone thought, oh, how lucky, but no, not lucky. But it really helped me, and learned to assimilate with the culture. And most importantly, I learned to become Putri from inside out, and from inside my head first. So like not just memorize the dialogue and become Putri, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess this addresses my buddy Pert's question as well. He says, what were the rituals? Because you look totally immersed in that role.
Yep. Oh, well, not yet, but well, I'll tell you what it took. Because when I said I wanted to go through princess training, and she says, okay, you just come and be prepared for being with us for a couple of weeks. That included sleeping in a room which they said was the princess's room, on the floor, on a cement floor, with nothing, not even a pillow.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, is there an annex to the princess's room that I don't see here? They're like, no, this is where princesses in training sleep. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me, like how? And that wasn't all, so I slept. Before I slept, I had dinner. Dinner was rice, white rice, full stop. And I was like, is there lauk coming? Like some baby ayam, penyet or something,
Baby
like,
or something, yeah.
oh, no, this is what you'll be having. I was like, really? Yes. Oh, and water. So they gave me water. And I was like, okay, this is strange. So I had my dinner and I slept. That night, they woke me up like 6 times with a big gong, dong, 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 dong. And I was like, oh, what's happening? They're like, okay, meditate. I was like, oh, meditate now? It's 2 a.m. They're like, yes, it's time to meditasi sekarang. So I was like, okay, but I'm like, I can barely even open my eyes. I'm going to go to sleep. So, so I had to join someone and meditate for 15, 20 minutes. And then they said, okay, now you can go and sleep. I was like, oh. After another hour, they woke me up again. I was like, are you serious? Didn't we just do this? And it went on for 6 times, Aziph. I couldn't believe it. I was like, okay, I need to talk to someone tomorrow about this. This can't be right. I think you got the wrong person. And this went on for 3 days. I had white rice and water and slept on the floor. I had to like roll up all the baju that I had and try and create a bantal for me to sleep on. No fan, nothing, no blanket, nothing. And after like the second day, I was like, do you mind if I just check with you whether you got the training program, right? This is princess training, right? They're like, I said, like, what's the story? And they're like, our princesses and our kings in the olden days were trained to expect a life of hardship and to be able to. You could be king today and we're at war every day and you could lose everything in an instant. And in that condition, you have to be able to still function and you'll be okay. And you're so strong mentally that you can do it. You can even still go to war. I imagine those, like how they fight in the Middle East and all that. Tak ada makan, tak ada minum, not enough sleep, and they still can fight. So then I appreciated it. I was like, okay, right, now I'm ready to play ball, And then they got a lady to teach me. So it's like the Tata Susila of Javanese culture. So it's like learning our Rukun Negara, like that, so they have like, this is what you must do, this is what you must not do. So, they have like a set of rules. women can do this. With a perfect wife should not do this. The perfect wanita Jawa would say this instead. So it was learning from their philosophy, Javanese philosophy, how to condition myself mentally to be a Javanese person, because I realized that I couldn't just fake it and just memorize. I had to feel it and understand why they behave a certain way.
Right.
So it's understanding the psyche of a Javanese person and the Javanese princess before I could pretend to even be her. So
Wow.
that's the long and short story.
But it does show on screen though, because it was definitely not like acting. It wasn't acting at all. It was just you were being. That's who you were on screen. So congratulations for that. Great question, Husna. Thank you so much for that. I'll go to my bro here, Michael Teo, who does run his own training company, Thriving Talents. He focuses on helping companies understand millennials like himself. And he has been all over the world in this big trip, which was where I first met him. And so, Mike, you have.
Thank you so much. Just out of respect, Puan Sri, thank you so much for opening I would say, new level for us Malaysians here to enjoy our local movies. I did share before you came on air, Tiara, if I may, that your movie was the first Malaysian-made movie that I watched on the big screen. That I had to sneak out. Because I was still in high school that time. I didn't sneak out of school. I sneaked out of my house. Okay, it was a weekend, and I used my savings to purchase a ticket at GSC. I still remember, and I went to watch it. Because my friends, Tiara, were telling me, you gotta watch this movie. And I'm like, oh, it's a Malaysian movie. And then they were like, it's different. It's like made in Hollywood. And we're like, oh, what? We didn't know better. I was Form 3 at that time, 15.
Oh, bless you.
And I must share, Tiara, you look exactly the same. And I'm 34 now. And I saw you, I was 15. So, wow, you look exactly the same like that day, man.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? Are you? Hey,
Yeah,
right,
sure.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's not kidding. He's saying the truth thing.
Okay. Aziph is like, hey, dude, ask the question, dude. Ask the question. All right. So Tiara, I have a question here, right? So definitely you have built your personal profile, not only here locally, but also I would say admired internationally across the world as well. People heard about your work. My question is, how did you start? Like, were you born into a family that was just made out of artists, producers, talented directors? If not, how did you start? And if you could perhaps just give us like main highlight points, like what would you tell another younger person who has aspirations to be influential, to be iconic like your good self, and use that influence for good? How did you start? How did you build your
That's
following?
many questions, Michael.
Yeah. So in that. So how did you start building your profile and becoming that influential figure that you are today? So back to you, Tiara.
Wow, I don't know where to start, because really my start was in business. So I studied business management, business administration at KDU University College.
Nice.
And whilst I was studying, at the age of 18, I told my best friend, Jennifer, I was like, my God, studying is so damn boring. Why don't we just like put everything we have into practice, And she was like, what? I said, like, let's start a business. And she was like, my God, we're 18. I was like, so what? We know everything now, we're studying marketing, we're doing costing and economics and accounts. And I was like, let's start a business. And so that's how we did. We set up a $2 company, 2 ringgit company, and we were in business from like the second semester
Wow,
of studying. And that story is a very interesting story, because we decided to go into talent scouting. Because I used to do commercials. I was a commercial talent. I used to do commercials to pay my way through university, like
Very
very
nice.
like, I didn't want to ask for money from my mom and my family, I said, I will pay my way through my studies. Okay, so that kind of girl. So I spoke to a few people whilst I was doing commercials, and they said that they wished there could be like a casting sort of person who could go out and look for new faces, so we could always constantly have a fresh stream of talent on TV commercials. And I said, I can do that. And so that's when I went back to school, to college, and I told my friend Jennifer, I said, like, I got our business. It's a talent casting business. And so we went around taking photos of our good-looking friends and our relatives, and and stuck them onto Manila card and wrote their names there and age and height. And I said, now we'll go and see our first client. Who? Leo Burnett.
Wow.
Okay. You read about this story somewhere online, actually. So we went to Leo Burnett one day, just walked in, and it was lunchtime. And I saw the lady at the counter. I said, hi. We are here to change the face of advertising in Malaysia.
Wow.
For a BHAG. And my friend was like pinching me. She was like, I knew you were going to say something embarrassing. And I was like, what's wrong? That's what you need to do to make a statement. And this girl, the girl at the counter, her name is Maria, by the way. I think she's still working in the advertising industry somewhere. She was like, korang ni apa ni, budak sekolah ni datang nak jual business ni, apa hal? Now, yes, can we see the number one guy of Leo Burnett, please? We just want to show him our portfolio. And she said, who is the number one guy?
Wow.
And I was like, Mr. Leo Burnett? And I wanted to die after that, because I was like, is he here? And she's like, orang tu dah lama mati dah tau. Like 3 years ago. I was like, okay, apa? Can we see the number 2?
Wow. Di zaman sebelum Google tu masalah dia.
Yes, she was like, who do I ask for? And so just at that moment, as luck would have it, people were coming home from lunch. They're coming back from lunch. And this Maria lady, bless her, she was like, she just stopped this guy. Hey, Freddie Lee was the art director of Leo Burnett at the time. Freddie, see these children ni, they said they want to do business with Leo Burnett. Ada proposition apa tak tahu. And so I went into it again. Hi, my name is Tiara, and this is my associate, Jennifer. We're here and we have a proposition to change the face of advertising in Malaysia.
Very nice.
He was so sweet. Okay. So that's one of the first few kindest people who helped me. Okay, he was like,
wow.
All right, sure, okay. So what is your proposition? So I said, like, you know how you have the same people on TV again and again, myself included at the time. I said that I know a lot of very good-looking people in my family. We're all like mix this and mix that, and my aunties, my nephews, my cousins, they're all very good-looking. And my neighbors, the people in my college, they're very good looking. I can put all of them together, and you can have a whole fresh face, a fresh range of faces for TV.
So
and
nice.
he was like, okay. So he brought me in to the conference room, and he introduced me to someone named Jennifer Hendroff, who was the next angel, and
very nice.
Hello. Thanks for coming on board.
Right.
Yes. Okay. So that was Nickel, my cat.
Nice.
And they said, and he said, so Jennifer, we're looking for people for the M&M's commercial. Maybe ask these girls if they can help us find them. I was like, my God, we have business already? And it was just like that. He says, I give you 1 week, can you come back to me and bring me like 50 faces on, for me to look at? And I was like, tomorrow I'll give it to you, man. But anyway, I said, I have a little problem. We don't have a camera, because we borrowed someone's camera the other day to take all these pictures, and we don't have one now. So, and Jennifer Hendroff, bless her, she said, I have a camera, I'll even lend you this camera. I said, do you trust us? You don't know us. He's like, just bring it back, okay? So the camera's a little beat up. When you want to close it, you need to put masking tape on it to close it up. After you've rolled the film in it, you have to tape it closed. And with that blessed little, can't even close properly camera, that's how we started our business.
Amazing.
That's the story.
Tiara.
That's how I got
Amazing
started.
story.
If I just summarize, I think my question was, how do you build yourself to be so iconic
Okay.
and influential? But I think you answered it, Tiara, because everyone from the chat I could see, they're all just saying how bold, wow, so inspiring, so brave. All these chats on LinkedIn, on Aziph's LinkedIn right here. So I think you have answered the core fundamental, Tiara, where you want to build whatever iconic profile, influence in business. I think most important is to, number one, say yes to opportunity. Number two, be proactive, to be resourceful, and number three, just knock on doors. You may get rejections, but at the end of the day, there'll be some kind souls, just like what you've encountered, that will just give you that chance that just change your life. And literally, it birthed.
You have nothing
your
to lose.
achievements. Yeah.
When you're
That's right,
18,
nothing to lose.
you have nothing to lose. It's like the whole world out there, and no one's who's gonna judge you? No one knew who I was then. Just go for it.
Powerful. Thank you, Tiara. That's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks,
But you
Michael.
know what? All these people, I have never forgotten them for a single day. All those people who helped me on my way up, I stay in touch with them. I remember them. I'll tell them, of course I remember you. You're from this and this and this agency. Or I'm like, of course I remember you. You were in, for arts too, right? And I never forget anyone. And I'd like to think I'm the same girl who I always was before. Hanging out and being like chill.
We're honored to be here with you. Thank you again, Aziph, for making it happen.
Yay!
Thanks, Michael, for that. Next, we have our own Putri Kenyalang, Ayu Shakira.
Hi Tiara, I'm a fan of you.
Kita.
Yeah, kabar baik. Kita apa khabar? So
Bagus.
yeah, like my nenek is a very fan of you. Just imagine how fan she is. She's like, every time we saw any like bukit or mountain, right? She would say, please be well mannered. There's a princess looking at you. And also every time I watch your movie, right, because I always watch it, I really love the telepathy scene, when you talk with your brand. So she will say, I met her before. I don't know where she met you, but yeah, she met. Yeah. I think you always go to Sarawak, right?
I used to, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Now and then. Laki kami orang Sarawak.
Oh, lagi tak orang Sarawak. Wow, I speak Sarawak for the first time in live today. Wow. I'm from Miri, by the way.
Okay. My husband is from Muka.
Oh, Muka. My nenek is from Muka. I can speak Melanau as well. I'm Melanau Matu. Yeah, Melanau Matu.
Really?
Yeah. So, okay.
Umah Melanau. I remember that.
Something like that. Yeah. So, my question, because I know you're also like a very bold woman, and also like you're control free that you mentioned before. I'm also like that. So yeah, I'm also like that. So I'm also a lady with a big dream like you as well. So sometimes, right, when you grow too fast, how do you deal with it? Like you said just now that you have been busy, right? So how do you deal with it? Because sometimes you feel like, oh my God, I don't even have time for myself. So how do you deal with it? Yeah.
I still don't have time for myself.
Yeah, right.
I'm at this desk, from the start of my work day, and I end here like very late at night. I eat here. I still have my lunch.
Same.
My protein shake from lunch. I still haven't.
I have my coconut also here. See?
And unhealthy biscuits. You just go with it, really. You just roll with it and make the most of it, because I keep telling myself I'm busy because there are opportunities.
Yeah.
And if I could relax and I could live a life of no, I can't live a life of like leisure. I cannot. But you just kind of roll with it, and you have really a strong team to back you up. So I'm really very lucky. I have an amazing team. They're all like so used to like, okay, Tiara's going to call us at like 12:30 a.m. You know, to do something like, hi Dean, can you put together a video tomorrow morning? I've got an appointment to go and see someone. And they're all like, okay, got it. Okay, they're on it. I try not to do that often, but you do need to have a very solid team who is. Firstly, you have to be passionate about what you do, lah. You know, because if you're passionate and you love what you do and you know that your work is impacting people on so many different scales, so many different levels, you know that I'm enriching the country with culture, or I'm telling stories that really needed to be told, or we're training people to be the next generation of actors, or whatever it is we're doing. We're doing something great. So we keep thinking of the big picture of how we're impacting the nation on different levels. That's
Wow.
what we do at Infinity. And so every single person who works at Infinity is equally as passionate as me. That's how we hire them, because if we see that you're a bit lembe and you don't have, like, okay, this one won't last 2 months. You know, so everyone loves what they do and believes in what they're doing. So we're excited to work, and I'm a habitual creator. I was telling Aziph, I can't like sit and watch a movie and just enjoy it. I'll be like watching and thinking, ooh, I wonder if I could turn this into a musical, or like, wow, look at the special effect. Oh my God, I wonder if I can use that in my shows. Like checking it out. So I like, suddenly I have a new idea for a great new light and sound show. You know, I wonder where we could put it up. So my brain just is wired like that. I can't like just sit and watch something relaxed. You know, it's a bit annoying for my friends, for my kids. Yeah. So yeah, that's just how it is. So yeah, I hope I answered your question in a way.
Thanks so much, Ayu, for that question. I know she's asking it, Tiara, because she is moving up so fast among the five of us here. She is like going up trajectory-wise, skyrocketing on LinkedIn. It's crazy. So she has a goal of having 100,000 followers for this year, and I have no doubt that she's going to get it. No doubt.
I have to learn from you. Are you? Please.
Yeah, sure. Yes, of course.
Yeah, please join us. So anyway, thank you to my squad, Ayu, Husna, Michael. Thanks so much for coming on board. Really appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks so much. Okay, well, that was fun. We had a bit of variety there with with Michael and Husna and Ayu. And so Tiara, that was so many great stories you've been sharing with us. It was, many of that I didn't know. I didn't know that story of where you started with your belief. It's just crazy.
Most of the time people just want to know Putri Gunung Ledang, this and that, or how what my beauty regime is. None.
Well, since you mentioned Putri Gunung Ledang, again, my interest is really the inception, where it started. Because it's such a grand, endeavor to get this movie off the ground, and the way you've executed it. How did that start? Where was the spark to get that movie off the ground?
Was going to the Cannes Film Festival in like 2000 something, in 2001 maybe, and I was like, my God, where are the Malaysian films? Why are we not represented? Even Singapore has a film here. And they're like, where are our filmmakers? And I'm watching film after film after film, and I'm just thinking, can we not put together a film that can rival any of the films up here? Of course we can. And I was already producing TV, Cerikarama for TV, so feature films made for TV at that time. and we had just discovered Muhammad Khalid, the genius. And Muhammad wrote a whole series of hikayat stories for us. Mat Jenin, Pak Pandey, the guy with the taring, Raja Besiong,
Sure.
and Masuri and everything. And we had slowly churned out all those made for TV movies one by one. And then I read Putri Gunung Ledang, written by him. And I was like, gosh, this is so unique. Ni, Mamat, sayang ni nak jadi TV, a telemovie. I said, I'm going to keep this. I said, siapa tahu lah, maybe one day we'll have the luck to turn it into a film. After Cannes, I came back and I read the script again, and I said, this is our first Malaysian movie that will show at international film festivals, or help me God. And everyone's like, how are you going to do this? We don't know how to make movies like this, big movies. Now it's like, we're just going to learn it, okay? There was no Google, there was no Google. You cannot how do I make a big budget epic movie? No. And I called Finas. They're like, oh, this is out of our league. Okay, we've never done anything like that. I was like, can anyone help me? Who is a filmmaker here? And everyone was like, we've never done anything of this scale. The biggest film was XX-Ray or something, at that time. I was like, okay, how do we get started? And I just bought a whole bunch of books, and we just read, and how do you produce a big budget movie? We just went for it, man, Aziph. And by the grace of God, we put the film together. It was hell, because we were shooting in such crazy conditions, in extreme heat, extreme rain, extreme open, to all the elements. We had no idea how, but we were just crossing our fingers that that this gets by. But we also had the Indonesians on board, Christine Hakim and the late Alex Komang, and Slamet Raharjo and Dian Sastrowardoyo. So these people were giving their experience of at least being in big films in Indonesia. Nothing like this, but still, they're like, this is the closest we can advise you. This is what we would have done. And Saw Tiong Hin as a director, he had a lot of experience shooting TV commercials. So we used that discipline of shooting TV commercials in our set. So at least we had that, and we had, of course, the discipline of theatre and the process of theatre. That's how we prepared all the actors for their roles. So it was really just that, and flying by our teeth.
Wow.
And it was not easy, because we played it, we could have played it the right way if we had only known how. So, and we kept telling ourselves, this is difficult, but you know what? We have an opportunity to make a film that will be the first film to go to the Academy Awards. And everyone was like, okay, you're kind of dreaming a little. Malaysia doesn't send films to the Academy Awards. And Tiong Hin and I were like, why not? It's just because we don't have a film like that. And I said, and we told the team, whenever it gets tough, Academy Awards! And everyone would be like, yes, okay. And I said that at the end of the movie, we will see your names on that credit list. And if you don't do your best, you will know that you didn't put in your best. So you want to be, you and your kids, your grandchildren, you want them to all be proud that you were part of this movie. So it's hell, we are dying now, we're hot, we're black from being burnt by the sun every day, but we're going to make a good movie. So help us, universe.
Wow.
Yeah. So against
I have goosebumps. This is such an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, because it's much needed, because I truly believe that visionary leadership, that is, if you have somebody who is from the front pulling you, and they have 100% conviction, people are willing to, give 110%, 200%.
I want to share with you, Aziph, so when we had our very first meeting of the heads of direction, the art director, costume designer, apa-apa semua lah, the director and his team and everybody who was involved, I told them, I said that my vision is to do a film of that will can rival the scale of Gladiator. And and I said that, and with the look and feel of Lord of the Rings, and we have 20 million, we have 5 million US. And I said that, but you know what? And everyone was looking at me like, now this girl's like, not right? And I said that, we don't have the money, but if you believe in what we're doing, I said, you and I, we have one head, 2 arms, 2 legs, like all the people in Hollywood. What do we not have? We have a great story. So this can only work if everyone believes in it. So of you 12 people in this room, if anybody doesn't feel that we can do a fantastic film that will be our Gladiator or Lord of the Rings, you feel free to leave the team right now, and we will not hold it against you. We were starting to film in 2 weeks' time,
Wow, that was brave.
Our art director left.
So you lost one person.
Yeah, he said, I don't think I can do that film that you want, not with the budget that we have for art. I was like, I won't hold it against you. Go, And we had no art director, and we were starting filming in a few weeks. And I was like, now what do we do, Tiong Hin? But his assistant, a girl, she said, I've never done not even a telemovie in my life, but I'm very good with my hands. I'm very artistic. I'm very, I am that girl. I can get you there. I know the designs, I know the vision, and I'll get you there. And I was like, you better be serious. And you know what? I'm going to put all my faith in you, girl. You better put your money where your mouth is. That girl, Hasniza Ithmin, went on to win Best Art Director for Itu Gunung Ledang. Her first effort. Yeah, she built the set with her own hands, that kind of a girl.
We have to stop the show now, because that is the story. That was the story of this girl stepping up to the plate and saying, I can do this. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What an inspiring story. That's just amazing. Wow, that's crazy. So Hasniza Ithnin, I'll remember this name. Art director for that. So wow, that's an amazing story. One of the things you mentioned as well in the comment in one of my posts on LinkedIn was that you had a vision of your dream cast. You knew who you wanted to act.
Oh yes,
at least
including your late brother. Yeah.
So how did you get that? How did you manage to get the people that you wanted and that you saw could play the best?
That's my background as a casting, setting up my casting agency. So when I look at a commercial and I know this is Lux, okay, I know what kind of girl needs to go in that commercial. If it's for Fab or something, I know what kind of, So in this movie, I said, I know what person needs to be the king, who needs to be his queen, and I know them all. And I spoke to them personally, and I said, I'm doing my first movie, bro. Would you support me and be my sultan or something? Yeah. And we wrote down everyone we wanted, and we had 90% of everyone I envisioned, including the late Azmil, whom I knew no one else could have played Pangeran Demak.
Yeah, we were talking about that before the show as well, that he had said, absolutely, I'm not going to act in any more movies, right? He had switched his life around, and he had moved on. He had,
I was like,
everything.
Hey, friendship, lama, old time sake. Okay, I need someone who looks the part, Django and everything, and believes in what he's doing. He can ride a horse like a Mongolian.
Yeah, he was playing polo at that time.
Yeah, yeah. He said, no, I cannot. Like I already said, I cannot. I said, you're doing your da'wah live on film. Okay, what else could we ask for? He was like, you're very clever. You got me there. Yeah.
Very clever. So, are there any more movies in the cards? Is that a direction you're going?
Not movies, but we are right now busy building our second Tiarasa. Yeah, so it's going to be called Tiarasa Lux. So this idea was also again born out of necessity during the pandemic. We realized that, you know what, whenever people can't cross borders, we are, we're doomed.
Well,
We have to close for 3 months and we have no business. So we decided to set something up in the city. So this is overlooking a golf course and beautiful sunset views every day. Thir- 30, hang on, like a 2/3 Olympic-sized swimming pool in it. It's beautiful. So with a little golf putting green, it's gorgeous. It's a villa, and it's we're opening it for corporate retreats and as an Airbnb as well for weddings, for events next month.
Tiara
Yay!
Lux next month. Let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody's saying I'm there in the chat. I'm there.
Look out for it.
That sounds amazing. So you are mentioning corporate retreats, and you also do corporate training based on drama and based on acting. How did that come about?
Absolutely. I love talking about this, Aziph, because, well, with the experience that we have in drama and theatre, a group of actors and directors, we put together a program called Infinity Play, and this is a drama-based corporate training where, we will solve all your HR problems using drama. So it's so different from anything else you've ever experienced. So it's immersive. There's no PowerPoints, no like sitting down and taking down notes. Everyone is up on their feet. It's active. I think I sent you some pictures on it. Something on yeah. Well, if you have pictures, you can put it up to show lah. So so if a director can change an actor and turn her from a boring housewife to a murderer, or from a really aggressive man into into any other character, every time. So it's all directing, and it's muscle conditioning, and we role play, and we try and get different people in difficult situations to act out difficult situations and overcome their differences. It's a great team bonding tool as well. That's Joanna. That's her doing one of the programs in Infinity Play. So everyone's up on their feet, and it's so nothing like sitting and just talking or listening to someone talk. Yeah, so it's we've trained bankers, we've trained semua lah, Coca-Cola, Petronas, and
how bankers especially, because I started a career in a bank.
At first,
They
it's
are
like,
how did they perform?
the HR people were like, "Oh, you don't know my team, they're boring as hell." Okay, they would not open their mouth. But one of them here, one of these pictures you're just looking at, is a bank, and the HR lady was like, "I've never seen my my head of finance behave like that." And at the end, everyone's so invigorated, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so re-energized after this. Is something so different. We're thinking differently now as a team. We're trying something different. Where we came up with so many cool new ideas. I'm
Are
getting
you doing this online as well?
Yes, so now obviously we cannot do our training face to face. So all these people are training online, and the blessing is we have clients now from all over Malaysia, not just in KL, and in Singapore. So it's been going online has really changed the game for us. But when things get better and we can be back in Tiarasa or in someone's, this is the same corporate training done at Tiarasa Escape. So it's really good fun. Yeah, and we love it with a passion, because we can see the differences in one day. You see a whole team that never used to talk to each other much. Now they're like, discussing, what should we do next? Can we try this? Can we? Or I have an idea. Suddenly they're communicating, and it's because you take the drama away from the workplace and you put it on a stage or whatever, and they're communicating on a very parallel but different level. So it doesn't get personal. Yeah. Yeah.
And you are
Little
launching this next month. This is Tiara Lux. Oh wait, I have to put that on screen. Yes,
Yay!
that looks amazing.
So it will be able to sleep about 16 to 18 people, and we have different spaces where you could do a wedding, a party, a product launch, and gorgeous, gorgeous views. And there's a golf simulator in there. That's really, really cool. A whole like a studio with musical instruments as well. So that good fun, really good fun. Cinema. Yeah.
Rent
So
out the whole villa.
Yeah.
The whole villa is out for it. And you can actually, you said, do events there as well.
Yes, it's ready for events, product launches, weddings, everything, small weddings.
Wow.
And now all weddings are going to be pretty small and a little more personal than having an event in a hotel, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, we were talking before the show about the different productions that you had, and I noticed kind of a trend of like these historical shows that really showed, not many people knew about. For example, I have seen your production of Mud KL. So, what was that about?
Well, there. Thank you. So, well, it's not that the present day stories are not as interesting, or maybe they really aren't. I really love the way we used to be as people, as Malaysians. Once upon a time when we used to live effortlessly in harmony. And I think more than anything, it's not so much the history, but the unity in the stories that is the running thread. So I love telling stories about Malaysia at a time when we were one people, and in the hope that this will inspire us to start to think about how can we get there again before we lose everything. So that's why we tell stories like P. Ramlee the musical. So with the story of P. Ramlee, it took B.S. Rajan's and the Shaw brothers, an Indian director and two Chinese brothers, to create a P. Ramlee for the Malay film industry. So that's how people work together those days. They wouldn't be able to say itu China punya, ini India punya. It's like, let's just do something great. Yeah, that's the story of P. Ramlee and how it took everyone, and people tak kira those days, whether he's Malay, whether he's Indian or Chinese, and they just wanted to support and create a successful story and a successful person.
So the theme or the thread connecting this is actually unity.
Yeah, it's people think I'm being ridiculous when I talk about, like, I am seriously like very about nation building from my own little corner.
This definitely was about unity and about coming together for a common cause, nation building. Ola Bola, one of my favorite theater productions.
Thank you, Aziph. There we go, Sergeant Ahmad.
I'm proud that my company, Celcom, where I work, was part of this production as well.
Exactly. Thank you, Celcom. Yeah. So it's the story of Ola Bola again is about the story of our national football team who wanted to go to the Olympics. And this team was made up of a Chinese captain, Indian goalkeeper, Malay striker, Bengali, a Singh,
defender.
He was a defender, yes. And they went through so much drama together, and yet they stood together and said, we need to win as a team. And everyone stood together. And as if I'm not sure if you felt it, but every night I watched it, I believed they were a team. I didn't think they were actors who were put together and made to play together for 6 months, and that's what we did. We actually put them together. You play football every day. You will, we sit together, we laugh, we cry. You have to feel each other as brothers, because we need to believe that you're brothers when you're on stage, and not that you're playing Arumugam, you're playing Sochin or what. So they absolutely believed it. With every goal, they were like, yeah. Every time someone scored a goal, the whole team would scream, the whole audience would scream. It's an experience I'll never forget. We had Malaysians just rooting for a show like that. But the
I love
langsung,
Ultimate Ahmad was amazing in his role. I felt that as well.
Yeah, that was a cool. I think getting Ultimate to act as a sergeant.
So amazing. I'm just happy to be part of this. I'm just happy to hear these stories from you and to see these amazing images.
Directed by a girl, by the way.
There you go. International Women's Day.
Thank you.
So I'm so happy we got to share a little bit about all these amazing productions that we've had. The Tiarasa Resort, this upcoming villa that you're opening up, Tiarasa Lux, next month.
Yes,
so a lot of excitement coming up.
Yeah, it doesn't stop.
It does not stop, does it?
No.
So no wonder you're so busy.
Well, I'm the chief dream maker of the Infinity Creative Universe. I can't stop.
How do you take care of yourself, though? Do you exercise? Do you meditate? I don't know. What's your routine that keeps you grounded and keeps you calm?
I always, every day, I have an ambition to exercise. So I have a stationary bike there in my workspace. Well, I set an alarm for myself. My Fitbit will sound every hour to remind me to move. So every hour at least, I'm telling myself, okay, 250 steps, 250 steps. So I try and do that. I try and have my phone calls on as I'm walking, and I wear my jogging shoes in the house. So I'm tempted to run whenever I have to go. When I have to go to the kitchen, I'm jogging to the kitchen. So whatever you can do, If I'm stationary, I'm doing squats as I'm on the phone, as I'm brushing my teeth. You just have to make the most of every moment to make it work for you, I think.
That's a great strategy to keep active movement throughout the day.
Yeah.
A strategy.
Meetings can be so long, You're like sitting down for 40 minutes. I just keep moving and I'm clocking my steps as I go along.
Walking meetings are good.
Yes.
People like, come, let's take a walk.
Yeah.
But, the life nowadays is so much different. So since it's been exactly a year. We started MCO on the 18th of March of last year. And, it's almost exactly a year. How is your life different today than it was BC, before COVID?
A good one. Well, I'm very, very tech savvy now. I've learned so much because over every MCO or not MCO, I'm online on webinars. I'm learning everything. It's crazy. I found myself signing up for a. Hang on. Data programming or something. I was like, okay, you don't want to do this, but why are you? I was like, I just want to learn something. So every day I wanted to do something. You can even do courses at Stanford right now. Yeah, everything's available online. And I was like, what if they stop? I want to learn now while they're offering this. And I learned digital marketing online on LinkedIn. It's great. All these
LinkedIn learning is amazing. There's so much.
Marketing communications, how to write good marketing copy. And I'm like, I want to learn so I can support my team and be better for them and give them ideas. And, I don't stop. And I don't think anyone should.
And the way they do the trainings now as well, right? It's like 2-minute videos and you go to the next video. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, always learning. That's
lifelong, man.
Yep. So looking at the future a bit, yeah. So we have the hospitality business running. I heard through Little Bird that you are also expanding outside of KL, maybe in the north, in an island somewhere.
Yes.
Maybe you want to talk about that.
Oh, my favorite island in Malaysia, Langkawi. So it holds a very special place in our heart for me and my husband. We got married there and we had our reception there. So, and we've been in love with Langkawi. We go back every year, and we're so my team and I are doing an integrated development somewhere in Langkawi. It would have opened by now if not for the pandemic, but we use that time to regroup and rethink our ideas. And like now we have to scrap everything and think about a COVID-proof, pandemic-proof space where people won't feel paranoid to go to. And, well, inshallah, end of the year, we hope to open this place. Please come, listen out for it.
What's the concept? Is it residential? Is it?
It's an integrated development, an integrated resort. Sorry, it's an integrated resort. So there'll be attractions, there will be accommodation, there will be. It'll be exciting. It'll be something new for Langkawi. Yeah. I'm really excited about it.
Excellent. So there's still a lot of people online still on
Oh,
the show.
that's so nice. Thank
Yeah,
you.
favorite scene, slow-mo goal kick. Yeah, that was one of my favorites as well. It's amazing. I really love the choreography of the
Thank you,
football
Manisa.
moves, right? Because they were so game, I think inspired, so like Japanese, really cool movements. I love that.
Well, thank you. That was actually one of our favorite moments in the show, and that was created by Stephen Rahman Hughes. So I brought him in to help me. I said, I remember watching a show. I watched Harry Potter, and I said that, you know, the movements that they did that really like, they go slow and then fast and then like slow again. And I said, can you study that and bring it to KL and help me with this? And, you know, he did. He came down, he says, we're not acting in it. You still want me here? I said, yeah, I want your, you know how this works. I need you. You play football. You love football. So we had a great team together. So people were saying, how can this girl go and direct a story about football? What does she know? I said, like, you don't need to know football to direct football. But what's in my head, I don't think a man would be able to execute it, you know? So I'd rather not spend time explaining it to someone, but I'll get a whole team of amazing guys to work with me. So we had a choreographer who was also like he was the trainer for the MPPJ soccer team or something. And everyone else played football. The guys in the show all played football, but the girls who put the show together, director, all the songs were written by Mia Palencia. My assistant director, Shamaine Uthman, also a girl. So three of us, and we had all these amazing guys to support us and make that dream real, you know? It's the first time football was shown like that in the world, as if nobody, not even at Broadway or what, they've ever put football on stage like that.
It really made the show pop. It was so different that you can't forget that. We have Lisa here. She's actually in Dubai at the moment, and she is saying she can't wait to come home.
Yay!
To go to Tiara.
You have to. Well, borders are reopening soon, I hear. Apparently.
Yeah, so thanks for tuning in all the way from there.
Come. Yeah.
So we got so many comments now.
Oh,
I mean, the
really?
crowd is so amazing.
That's cool.
Will there be food?
Will there be food?
Somebody has a crush on Hang Tuah. So
I don't blame you. They all do. Well, we're looking at a new Hang Tuah for the next season. But, and a new Putri. But so we can move on with our lives and be other people too. But also, so we want to keep the brand, the Putri Gunung Ledang brand, fresh and young. And so hopefully in 20 years, like every time we restage it, there'll be new putris, new hang tuas, and younger audiences will get to know the culture, will get to know the traditions, will get to know the story, and bring their kids to the theatre, and that's how we keep an ecosystem, going.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So we can wait for that. So I do have to keep
Next
track
year.
of time. This has been the longest culturism has ever run. So
Really?
thank you.
Oh, wow. I talk too much.
No, we're having fantastic time here. But I would like to give you a few minutes to kind of wrap up and share us your final thoughts and whatever you've taken away from this conversation. I've loved it myself, but if you have any takeaways for us, the audience.
Um, well, I would say whenever opportunity knocks on your door, you have to go for it. That's what I always practiced in life, and I'd say always stay humble. The Malays always say ikut resam padi, like never forget, the block you just came from, and never forget your like where you yeah. Don't forget people who were there with you during the hungry years, because you see them everywhere you go. I've been so blessed because the people I've known when during the hungry years, they're all in high places now, and they're like, gosh, you deserve a break, you deserve the help. And so I've been lucky, and you need to stay humble, stay hungry, and and keep yourself energized, thinking about everyone's work, everyone does a job, and it impacts. And if you can think of it as how it will impact people on a large scale, you feel how important that job is for you. So if you're building houses, think about the guy who will, the day you give him his keys for the first time, and he says, I've saved up all my life for this, now I'm getting my first house, and you give him the keys to his first house, and you picture the face of that guy. Because of that guy's face, you will build a house with really good quality. You'll be so conscious about what goes in. So yeah, think about how the work you do impacts people on a big scale, impacts anyone on a personal level, and you'll find joy and truth in the work you do. Wow.
Thank you. So inspiring. There's so many inspiring stories, though. I mean, you've shared about your art director who's stepped up, about how you, as a student, would walk up to looking for Mr. Liu.
Mhm. Ada lagi Maria nya. She can tell you the story.
That's amazing. I would love to meet her. But again, to the audience, thank you so much for staying with us and for tuning in, for sharing with us this special moment.
You guys are so cool.
And for you, thank you so much. It's been wonderful having you on the show. I appreciate you so much. And take care of yourselves. Please stay safe still in this environment that we're in right now. Everybody needs to be careful still. And as I always tell my audience, stay kind. Take care.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Aziph. Bye, everyone.
Bye. So we're going to end the stream right now.